Okay, so fantastic. Welcome everyone to the first opening session of Inner Flights. It's an experimental session. We've not done this before. So I'm really happy to see everyone who's come, and hello to everyone who's watching live on YouTube, and whoever will watch later. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today it's not a technical topic, so I don't have any points or slides or any preparation. So the idea is that we come together and we feel that there's more to our connection than just paragliding, and it'll be nice to have a space where we can talk some good stuff, share some good stuff with each other, and fly inwards. That was the idea. So I thought I'll just begin with talking about what's been happening few months. So yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of something is trying to stop what's been going on with life. I think we were racing and moving so fast with our lives that something says, maybe stop. So just stop and maybe think, maybe reflect, and maybe just pause, maybe just be quiet for a while. Maybe the whole of humanity needed a break, so to say, whatever may be the reason, but somehow everybody's home. Everybody's pressed the pause button. And I think something is asking us to kind of look inwards and to reflect. Personally, for me, I always look forward to, looking inwards. It's been my mainstay, and last couple of months, it's really been a great opportunity to have all the time with yourself. Of course, there is homework as well, and that also has been in some way very interesting, and has opened changed the perspective in how we've been seeing things. So for me personally, in the beginning, it was like just breathe, just stop, and just because there was so much accumulated you can say stress, or you can say uh, tiredness from a life that is very engaging, very active, very full on. So it was just rest, rest, rest. And then it came towards some reflections, and got a very uh, good opportunity to observe how the mind is functioning, how my life has been so far, where I am right now, and where I actually want to go from here. So a lot of first dust settles. There's a lot of settling down, and kind of a little bit of clarity kind of coming in. I mean, just like washing the dishes, for example. So it became like very therapeutic for me. Like I would see the dishes piled up, and oh my god. I mean, you see a reaction from the mind like I don't like this. So like, why not? You got to do it, And then you start doing it, and then mind goes, oh my god, that particular burger, like it's not like too much stuff, like it will not be easy. I don't like that. Why don't you like that? You got to do it. So I reached a point where like it's become a flow. It's really zen. Washing dishes. Uh, I've freed myself from the mind kind of complaining, and giving its judgments about what's going on, and somehow with everything that I do, I have brought my attention more and more, to what I'm doing right now. Of course, the thoughts come like, okay, the main season, which is April and May, where it's the peak season for us. I just went, flying. Uh, so the mind comes to say like, how are you gonna handle this? You got salaries to pay. And I said, no, it's okay, it's okay. What am I doing right now? Are these thoughts really relevant to what I'm doing now? Maybe not. So I just focus on, just being in the moment, having, tea with Anita in the balcony, or, doing the dishes. I'm not complaining. Uh, or, reading something, or just observing, myself, like what's going on, what's going on. And this observation has led to so many, discoveries that I'd love to share. That it has given insights into, something in us that is really beautiful, something in us that is really, wow, and something in us that is not touched. If given a chance, you begin to see and realize it's not touched by what's going on the outside. I'm able to observe thoughts, I'm able to observe feelings, I'm able to observe sensations, I'm able to observe the experience that I'm going through. But there is something that is witnessing, is not getting affected by whatever may be going on. And this brings me to a very beautiful place of freedom, where I can then participate, in fact, more in life, more wholeheartedly in life. I mean, if I'm doing some very menial work, which was seen as a menial work, I can be wholeheartedly doing that and enjoying that with no concern, but just being engaged in what is only here, just concerning myself with it, which is being in the present moment. So yeah, I just wanted to share that to begin this conversation with everyone, and I like anyone to come up and share, um, or wherever we want to take this. I don't know like where we'll go in this. There's no flight plan in the flights, but we can take off in any direction. Uh, Anyone can steer this to any way we like. We want it to be uh, something about us. Of course, like we don't want to regress into. It's not about religion, or it's not about politics, or or anything that divides us. Just we want to explore ourselves. We want to explore, who we truly are. So, so just to begin, maybe the conversation, like who we think we are and who we truly are. There's a big, play of life in that. We could go in that direction, or whatever anyone likes. So, okay. So, okay, how's open? Thank you for listening. So, I see a question. Can we speak about how these times of sitting at home has brought about the procrastinator in us? This is from Niyati. Okay. And yeah, Netflixing is a new thing. Yes, 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 yes. So if somebody wants to talk, please, you can just raise your hand. Or, we'll catch you and you can talk. Uh, what comes to my mind about procrastinating is, I have indulged, like I have caught so many times my mind, I'm watching something on Netflix. It's like, whoa, I'm gorging on it. Okay, next episode, why not? Okay, next episode, okay, why not? And the mind is saying, come on, like, what are you doing? Shouldn't you be doing something more productive or something more useful? And I say, okay, thank you. It's okay. I'm doing this. I'm going to enjoy this, and I don't have to pay attention. And so I watch. So that's how I look at this. Uh, so that is. Was that the question? What was it?
So maybe I'll just go shameless and start speaking.
Yes, yes, yes.
So maybe the situation here, like in Europe, is a little bit different from India because the lockdown is not so strict and it is already partially lifted. So you see lots of people around, and especially because it's sunny, so it's parks are full with people, shops are all open, people are going around. I mean, of course, keeping the safe distance. So I'm at the moment home officing for 2 weeks. Before that, I was going to the lab like every single day. But I have realized that, on contrary to become a procrastinator, I have become much more useful, because even though I know that I'm home officing, I'm still getting up early in the morning. But now I feel that, okay, on usual working days, I don't have time for, let's say, yoga, like a morning sun salutation or an evening meditation, or even like think and cook something healthier or try different recipes. So I'm up in the morning at the same time, but I'm utilizing my time in doing something that I probably wouldn't have been able to do during my working days, like taking free photography courses, like sitting and just reading some papers, novels, talking to people whom I never probably found that much time. So I was actually quite amazed. In the very first few days, I thought that, okay, I'm going to be at home. I'm going to take all the rest I needed when I was working like long hours at office. But it was to my surprise that I was waking up at the same time, like every morning at 6. And then I couldn't fall asleep anymore. So, it has brought a very good, I don't know, attitude for me, because like, I mean, not only yoga, but I'm starting to grow coriander on the balcony, because I cannot go to the Indian shops which are far away to get them. So growing chilies, growing coriander, and but I'm still like trying to do some sort of home office. But I think, like, as you said, Avi sir, in the very beginning, it got me some time to reflect and take me away from the daily busy life and think about how I can achieve a work life balance and make it sustainable, because I don't want to end up doing it only for these 2 weeks when I'm home. But I'm trying to, organize myself in a way that even when I go back to work, these things like gardening or doing yoga or cooking, these things become a normal part of life, not that I have to think separately about it. So I think this was a good side of myself that I found. So yeah, that was quite great.
It's also incredible how something so simple and little as like a fresh shoot, maybe from coriander, or in my case my mogra plant, can give
Yeah,
you so much of happiness.
exactly.
Like
It's like
just watching a new leaf is like, oh my god, there's a new leaf today, you know.
you go
So
every day, and then you say whether there is enough sun, if it's getting enough water, you take care as if it's a small baby,
and you
which you
would never have had the time to like observe it otherwise, but now it's just the moments of happiness are in like in the moments have sort of increased for
yes,
me,
exactly. I mean, for
the
me,
little things. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
So,
there are little things that I'm also worried about, especially like the situation in India. I don't know if you guys know, but there are also like some religious turmoils in West Bengal, and all political problems are also cropping up. The neighborhood where my mom lives, they have a corona case there, so they have, like, shut down the entire locality. So I'm also worried about everything, but at the back of my mind, I have that bit of peace also coming in, because I can reflect, I can think more logically without panicking as well. So yeah.
So you're managing the worry.
Yes, exactly. Otherwise, I'm usually a very stressful person. If I'm not stressing about work, I do manage to find something that I can stress about. But this
Yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah.
it's giving me some time to reflect that, what are the important matters in life, what are the important matters in the whole world. I mean, my work is not everything, right? So this kind of time, I think I need it. And also, it's a very good lesson, as Avi sir was also telling, that to realize not only I mean, of course, the impact of the situation is there, but it comes with a lot of different realizations, a realization towards humanism, a realization towards how we behave with the nature around us, and probably it would also teach us a lot of lessons. So it's I mean, there's always something to learn from it. And yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, like, I would also like to share that I don't know how many also experienced this, that you just want to do nothing. You you just want to like do nothing, and uh, and then and then you have to do something, and then you pick yourself up and you do that thing. So I was looking at why this preference for action, or why this preference for restfulness. What is it in me that wants to rest and doesn't want to do this, or wants to do that? So when I started to look at that, I mean, there was not much there. And somehow, by looking, I freed myself from wanting to rest or wanting to do work, but being available for whatever it may appear. You know, so if there's rest, I rest. If there's action, I do action. I rest fully, and when action is demanded, I act fully. So, like you were sharing also, Sukanya, that you found a kind of a new natural rhythm. So to say, you got a chance to find a new natural rhythm in which you're not hesitating from anything, not hesitating from action and not hesitating from inaction. So it actually doesn't matter whether you're resting or you're doing action. Both are same for you. You come to a place uh, where consciousness is more free. It is not too much identified with the likes and dislikes, and you free yourself from the likes and dislikes. Then kind of whether you have to rest or whether you have to act, you kind of free yourself from this. Because I think it'll be a situation with quite a few that, oh my god, now I have to go for work now. So it'll be hard to pick myself up because I've been chilling out like too much. So to be able to see more deeply and free yourself from these choices, and there's a bit of a being able to see this energy which wants to procrastinate, or there is a resistance to action. We're getting a chance to look, and when we look, we find that there's actually not much there. It was there because I was inattentive to these things inside me. But when I look, I kind of free myself from these things. And like Anita mentioned, like, very little things give you such beautiful joy. I mean, we have a balcony and there's a forest like right in front. Like we have peacocks coming, and just looking at massive trees, swaying in the wind, and it's a transforming kind of an experience. There's such joy and such beauty, like already here. We were running after like big things, and life passed us by, and we never looked the little joys that were always there. So there's beauty like right around us, in us, which maybe we were missing because we were running so fast. Or we were maybe even distracted from our own self. I mean, it's kind of like coming home, getting time to spend with yourself, looking at yourself, giving time to yourself. In fact, I'd go even to say like falling in love with yourself again, kind of, and then finding that flow, that everything will happen if given a chance to flow. We can go, more in this. Do we have somebody else talking or sharing or questioning? Anybody wants to share something?
Yes, sir, you wanted to say something?
Kaiser.
Hi. All this almost 50, 60 days we are at home now. Do you think this is going to make a difference in our lives? Which is, I mean, in coming future, these 2 months are going to make some impact?
So, what comes to my mind is that it really depends on each of us, what decisions we have taken or which way we want to go. So one can choose, to make the best of it, or one can have a defeatist attitude. One can, start to worry a lot. One can go anywhere. It's the freedom that we all have. We can choose. Like Sukanya, shared with us what she decided, about where she wants to go. So of course it will have an impact on every life, but individually it will depend on us, where we want to go or where we have chosen to go. So I think it is a time to, if we just rest, if we just be quiet, allow ourselves to rest and just be quiet, the transformation will take place on its own. You will see and observe changes on your own. And I'm sure, all of you can share, maybe one by one, that what you have experienced, some natural changes coming. I didn't decide to be like that, but I saw naturally, this was coming from. So if you're a little bit open and aware, you will find, changes happening on their own in a good, positive way. So I'd like, some guys to, share this. If you have experienced, you were just resting and you were just open, you were a little, quiet, and you saw, okay, there is grace here, there is natural, help here. Life loves us. Life wants to support. Life wants to give. If only we are little open and little quiet, I would say. So we like guys to share stuff here. Varun, anyone?
So yes, I would like to say something. So until it had there was a point until things were coming up as to what COVID is doing and how things are going, and until that point, only the time where I was on leaves and I was finding some time to rest and do things which I wish to do, like paragliding for that matter. But after that, coming back to the same busy life, spending 3 months just dedicated to the work. So the mind was completely filled with thoughts and, that tiredness, the sense of tiredness. The mind is not getting the time to rest, and there's not enough time to reflect on things. And in this period of time, so initially what happened, I rested a lot. There was a lot of rest which was involved. I slept a lot and I didn't do much about things. I was just I need to rest. There was this need to, just give time to things. And then it starts that rest led to that, inner kind of an inner awakening where I started prioritizing things as to what is important in life, how is it happening. Things started emerging. For example, something going back at my farm. So I'm not at my farm, but my parents are, and they've started after almost 4-5 years of research about organic farming. So they have dedicated a small piece of land for organic farming, and they're making a small mud hut there, and they spend their whole day at the farm. So we always go for almost 40-50 minutes, 1 hour of a video chat where I get to see what all is happening and how my father is going about things. So getting time for family to see how things are emerging, and even at this point in time when there are so many different apprehensions about job, pay cuts and everything, but it somehow does not matter at all. What matters in this moment is how things are emerging when it comes to spending time with family and prioritizing things. There is a matter which is a little complicated, and at one moment, and when my mind was completely filled with thoughts, this matter, it basically produced a lot of stress in me. But when I was quiet, when my mind was quiet, there came a simple realization that understand what is important in life for you, prioritize what is important in life. When this thought came to me, I realized how beautiful people and how many beautiful people are around me and how they shape my life in this moment. And they have been shaping my life uh, in my life as a whole, you know. And every minute, every second that I spend with these people, it's so important for me. So this thought, it really like, you know, filled me with a lot of energy that yes, my life is for my people. This is what matters to me the most. So I will not let any other thought or any other stress entertain me in the coming time. So I'll prioritize and I'll do things in that particular sequence of, you know, going about life. So that's something I wanted to share.
Thank you, Varun.
Thank you for that.
No problem, sir.
So, anybody else wants to share? Nice to see you, Arijit.
Unmute. Hi, nice to see you guys.
How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good. I'm great actually. Just I've had my final exams for my masters going on. I got back home from London about the day before the national lockdown started.
Oh,
Day before
good.
the border shut basically. And I flew back then and yeah, strange times. I thought I'd be sitting in London taking my final exams, finishing this entire course and everything, but I'm over here taking these exams at home.
Cool. Welcome. Nice to see you. Shaba, do you want to go?
Okay. This is, well, actually, I don't think I have the vocabulary to back it up, but in line with what Varun said, it's been a long time coming, I guess. And because we're still pretty secure and we have facilities and means to make our ends meet comfortably, we're in a way blessed that we don't have a lot of other many dire problems that a lot of people around do. Personally, I've not had a slowdown like this in a long time, and I realized that I'm generally a slow person. I wouldn't have known otherwise. So, yeah, it's been good. I don't really have a way to define it. I just feel like pulp most of the time, which is good. It's not a bad thing. And yeah, reflection, that's gone around a lot. And it lasted for about 3 days for me, and then it made me worried because I realized that's all I got. So, but no, jokes aside, it's been very for guys like us who've been very routine oriented and been part of probably very specialized outfits, routines, arts, or trades. This has been it's been a real not a slap on the face, but a real very soothing wake up call that not very much is in control, and there's not much you can do about it. A great appreciation for the craziness that your mind can throw at you, as well as the power it has to do stuff that you don't think you can comprehend. And yet, with all of it, I don't think we're getting out of it with. No matter what we do, it's the size. Our size is just. It's kind of humbling. Yeah, I mean, I can go on, but I'm not yet there. I don't have the words. Yeah, but it's been nice, and I was looking forward to this session actually, because I think people's faces say a lot more now than they probably always did, but we never really paused to look. There was no reason to. So in a way, I think the timing of it is just perfect, maybe, because most of us are we've had good lives, professionally, personally, etc. But we were not looking at. We didn't get a chance to look at any of this, and we would not have seen it if it had come in any other way, maybe. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Lovely sharing. Do we have? So I'll just read what Ashish has written. He says, based on my experience of working from home since last 8 years, having a daily, weekly schedule and hobbies helped tremendously. Otherwise, one can easily get into chaos. There are days and weeks, cycles of focus and procrastination. I have come to an understanding where I accept such periods. With the general practice of having a goal, a normal goal works. So that's what Ashish had to share. So, okay, what also comes to my mind is that I like to speak for everyone. Just share with me if it's been an experience with you as well. I'll take from Shabad when he says that it's been a humbling experience. Somehow we've heard how many lives have been lost all over the world. It's crazy, and how many people are already suffering. So a sense of gratitude comes just to be alive. That thank you, this power that thank you that I'm alive, and maybe I've been spared even, from this deadly virus, and that I can breathe and I'm alive. And so there's a gratitude that is there. I think everyone will naturally feel this. Second is the humbling aspect. That little not even visible virus, can destroy you like this. You're nothing. So again, it humbles you that there are forces. There is a power that somehow you feel, oh my God, where are my problems? And suddenly that is kind of liberating also in some way, that we are not in control. Who could have thought, this can happen? We had our plans and we had our ideas and we wanted to, get this and get that, and suddenly, boom, it's all blown, in a whiff. So that that also to know that we're not in control, and I'm sure I'd also like to mention a sense of acceptance that has come in our lives, that we feel a natural acceptance of what is thrown at us, and if you are humble, and if you've learned to accept.
Hi, Priya, you want to say something?
Hi.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's been very good for me, taking it day by day. And I've been reading this book, Sapiens, and I just realized that the hunter gatherers at centuries ago, they were individually independent. They all had the knowledge, each one knew how to start a fire, how to find food, and etc. And now we are collectively independent, as in we depend on each other for stuff. We have specialists in each field, but I realize that now we're all becoming individually independent. For example, the simple things, my grandmom, she's starting to make samosa, which we were dependent on stalls, food stalls and everything. And I made a cake today, which we go out and eat. And I wash my own clothes, which I was dependent on others. So I feel we're all becoming
On your grandmom for your samosas. You should make it yourself now.
yeah, obviously helped. So, as a whole, we're becoming.
We're getting there, Sukanya. We're getting there.
I'm always envious whenever I hear about samosas. Yeah.
You should try.
Next month, we'll get there.
Yeah, so I feel we're
True.
as a whole, and we're we know how to do stuff we never thought we knew, or we didn't do it. Mopping,
Absolutely.
people mopping houses and watering their plants, which they never do, and it's so nice, simple things they're doing, and it feels good.
That's very nice. That's very nice. I took some time to sort of get back into feeling satisfied and happy with doing simple, small things. It took me a little gap.
Yeah.
There was a kind of guilt that came in, that what are you doing? You can't be doing this. You have to be doing something more important.
Yeah.
And then when the mind, as he was also saying, quietens down, you realize that everything is pretty much equal, and you just find joy in everything, and it's the monkey mind that needs to quieten down, then everything's fine.
That's so true.
Anita ma'am, you just spoke my mind. This morning itself, I was telling my mom that I'm spending so much of time in other stuff which I usually don't do on my work days. And should I feel guilty that I'm not focusing on work? I'm rather focusing on other aspects of life. And she was like, no, this is what you should actually do, even on your working days. So this should be your new normal. So
the new normal. Yes.
Yes.
And it's like so simple.
I'm so glad there are girls talking.
Girls always
very happy. Vipin, don't laugh.
And it's like so good. Like I feel so good when I have like simple goals. Like my goal of the day will probably like wash clothes or like make a cheesecake or like go and sit in the garden or do something. And it's like so simple, but it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do today. That's it.
Yeah.
So
True.
it's nice.
I can relate to that a lot. Like, the mind comes in, to tell you like, this is not good. You should be doing that. But to be able to say, like, sorry, thank you very much. It's okay. I'm happy and it's fine.
Yeah.
Because the mind has been bullying us for quite a lot. It has been dictating. It has been, being the boss. But maybe, time to, overthrow the regime of the mind and allow your being, your natural being, to kind of, take over. So like I was saying, we talked about, this humility that has come, I think in the collective consciousness of the whole humanity, I hope little bit, and some kind of acceptance. And also, with it, if you realize like, there's a quiet that has come, and we all feel this love that is emerging, I personally am so happy, so joyful and so full of love to see everyone. It's like I just want to hug everyone.
No hugging.
Virtually. So if you can, just see this, because we've given a chance to ourselves to do, things that we like, to slow down. Like Priya said, I have just one task today, and that is, to do wash dishes, and after that, nothing else. Okay. Or, make that tea in the morning, or just that. Very simple, not too much. And there's joy in that. And you're enjoying doing that as well. So, your being is coming forth more than the mind that used to, run the show and would so easily, make us kind of miserable. So that has been, I think, everyone's experience as well, that there's a joy in just being, just being, and it's okay. It's fine. And we don't have to, listen to mind's judgment on us that, you should do this, you should do that, this is the right thing to do, this is the better thing to do, and so on and so forth. I think it's a great achievement if you are near being able to see, how the mind works like this, and that, you are in charge and you are the power here, not the judgmental and the, the whisperings of this, evil mind in your ear and, tell you what to do. So yeah.
If I can add something just exactly based on what you're saying, I feel like it really requires a conscious effort on your part to do that. Because there is always such a, just based on how we live our lives as human beings in the kind of work we do, etc., there's always such an intrinsic pressure to be productive. And the screwed up part is not that there's a pressure to be productive, but I feel like the screwed up part is how we understand productive itself, right? So especially in the last month, for example, because I was taking all of these exams for my master's, I was indefinitely, there was a period of time when I was extremely stressed out. And I was trying to work throughout the entire day, but there were days where I just simply could not be as productive as I wanted to be. But it wasn't like I wasn't working at all. It was just that I wasn't able to meet the goal that I was setting for myself. But it really took me like some amount of conscious effort to correct that in myself, and to understand that it's fine if I'm not reaching at that level. Like it's not normal of me to expect that I'm going to be living the same day every single day in a confined space and then still continue to be, exactly that level of productive or attain like all of those things that I'm thinking of. And it's but normal that there'll be certain points in time where you won't be able to reach that. And if you keep putting that on yourself that you have to reach that, then it becomes like a self-perpetuating cycle.
Yeah.
Which I was saying, like it really requires that conscious effort on your own part to get out of that self-perpetuating cycle,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's a huge thing. I mean, this is
Acceptance.
how, the world has conditioned us. And, this insane, drive to be productive, I think it's cancerous. You want to grow and you want to grow and you want to grow and you want to grow. And you look at these corporates, where they are and where they have brought the world to. And it is the same thing with how, from childhood on, our society has conditioned us and defined for us what is, success and what is, the measure of being productive, etc. And, we can be strong enough to, question all this. And it has to be conscious. So first, like, begin to question, whatever the world tells us or the society tells us, and become original human beings. What do I really want? To have the courage to ask yourself, what do I really want? I mean, I think this is a great intervention for all of us, which has given us an opportunity to look and see, am I a herd mentality? Am I just a product of, what the society has designed, fabricated for me? Or is there much more to life? So have the courage to question and ask yourself, what do I really want to do? And see what comes. There is, because this is certain, nothing, no one can define who you are. I know for a fact from my own experience that we are just unbounded potential. And if you know that, or if you can just sense that, or even trust that, then, live an original life. See what you are. Make sure you're not like walking trodden paths, but find your own way and see what you really want to do. And there is joy in that. I think that's why we are here. We are all unique. We are all unique expressions of this, wow energy, which is so full of love and beauty. And you see nature all around. Like there's so much there, and we are also an expression of that. And we are not being true to it if you are just merely following, if you are merely confirming. So I think, like, just let that beast of creative power and love, just, let it free, and it'll be your expression of life. So I would fully, it gives me joy, when Arjit is talking like this, and gives me joy when Priya is discovering like this. It gives me joy, there's originality there. So thank you for sharing that. This is so motivating. Somebody here. I'll just read what is there in the chat from Anurag. A thought in my mind for some time, how to deal with problem of expecting gratitude while on path of practicing gratitude, as one can become much aware of own actions. How to deal with the problem of expecting gratitude when on a path of practicing gratitude. Okay, Anurag, you're here, right? Let's hear it from you. Speak it out what you want to say, so we'll be better understood.
Yeah, actually, now that we've got a lot of time for ourselves and looking inside and sometimes looking into others as well. So I feel I am not being enough thankful. And when I start practicing gratitude, and I want to say thank you to each and every single thing, I have nothing but anything else to say other than thank you to anything and everything. But I don't see people thanking enough, and it saddens me, and it puts me down sometimes. And I don't know, as in, should it affect us or it shouldn't, or should we promote it, or should I push other people? I'm stuck there. So sometimes it bothers me.
Okay, like
And
I would say, like, it's human to expect, if you've been good to someone, or you poured your heart out to someone, it's very human to expect. But I would say, like, uh, live a life inside out. I mean, if you're, if you've created a happy life for yourself, you are entirely responsible. If you've created a miserable life, you are entirely responsible. You can, escape by saying, this one is responsible and that was responsible for my misery, but nobody except you are responsible for your state of consciousness. And I have to work on my state of consciousness. I have realized, and Anita has, helped me in a big way, about gratitude. I think uh, you don't have to practice it really. You know, Um I mean, just bringing in a little bit of awareness, like like I can see, what did I do to deserve this human form? What did I do, to deserve to live every day? What did I do to deserve to, make all these mistakes and still be forgiven? What did I do to, deserve to be given a chance, like every day, that, okay, go for it, what is this power that has, like created this enormous, beauty of life, plants and flowers and a beautiful sky and the clouds, and one can go on, like there is so much to be grateful about. And I think, we talk about ego, and I have, kind of realized that nothing can, destroy this ego so much as gratitude. This is the best, potion, I would say, because ego is so cunning. We can go into these, topics later, but it is so cunning. You'll not even know, how it is misusing you and abusing you and, whatever. But I've realized that gratitude is, one way of, really, getting rid of this ego. Just, I mean, even like, if you don't have any prayer, you don't, believe in God, etc., there's nothing. But just, in your heart, you are grateful. You're just grateful, thankful for whatever. You will realize, that, Anurag, that, these people who are not really nice to you, who are not being grateful to you, are actually helping you maybe to, realize something. And you may, in the future, thank them for being the way they are now, for being like really like assholes in your life. You'll be even thanking them, that thank you for being these assholes in my life, because that made me look, like, why am I getting disturbed? And what is, because I am reacting, you see. I have, thanked so many of such people, who I've been thankful to them. Thank you, because they made me look inside, and the ego is reacting here. It is an egoic reaction that I don't really like this. Why aren't you thankful to me? So when I look inside, I have a freedom to make a change here. And when I change here, outside is just a reflection. You change here, you change everything else.
Yeah.
Just begin to see this. I mean, this is a beautiful time and opportunity. If you're feeling good, like somebody wrote, like you had a nice flight, you land, you're feeling beautiful. You feel like hugging everybody, and you're like, somebody can be an asshole somewhere, like you don't care, like you're feeling fine because you're good inside. But if you're miserable,
I had a good flight. Screw everyone else.
Even nice guys, you're not like that, because you're feeling miserable. So it's inside out. So I would say, like, you be grateful, and let your gratitude be so wow and powerful that you're grateful to these lovely people also, who are making it miserable for you. Say thank you. Something must be there for me to learn here.
But Anurag, I used to feel a lot like this. And then I realized that, all of us are on our own individual journey. And you have to sort of acknowledge that these people are on their own journeys. And they've not reached that point in that journey that you have reached to experience gratitude. Maybe they've got a few more kilometers to go. So just to accept that, that we are all everyone is on their own separate journeys. And maybe you are a catalyst for them to realize this. Maybe you're not. But you just have to accept that, I guess.
Avi, can I add one thing here?
Please.
Yeah. A lot of things, in many ways, we don't show gratitude because we take a lot of things for granted. Like you sit on the table and the plate comes in front of you, you eat, but you don't realize what goes behind that. Like in this lockdown period, I took the advantage of cooking some dishes, and I realized it is not so easy. You may just go to some recipe book, work out some recipe and make it. Even, simple task of peeling a clove is not so easy, that way. So, and I shared with Anita in between how I wanted to make a dough and what I did after.
Yeah.
So the gratitude for the things which we take for granted, like, simple things in life, we don't realize, there are a lot of effort behind them.
Yeah.
Like our instructors, they leave home at 6 o'clock, come there at 7 o'clock. We don't realize all the efforts behind them. We say, oh yeah, okay, he's just there for 2-3 hours going to teach me something and going to, just go about his business. But it's not like that. He's teaching us, he's going through the training, what you give him. Again, entire his journey, right from the morning to night when he goes home. I think most of them must be now at home, at peace, and finally with their, children and the families, which may not be the case on daily basis. So the gratitude to them has to come from there. When we realize what everybody goes through in life, then the gratitude comes for everyone. That is how it is. But one thing I can tell you that if Hari is not there, I can really make few dishes there. And because my kid loved, what I made. So I think you will also like it. Whenever.
Oh, how nice, cousin.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah,
Of course.
So, in addition to feeling grateful towards other people, you should also feel like grateful towards what the universe has given you, like everything, all the opportunities, all your family, your friends, everything. Everything's the universe. So I often I say that in my prayer also, thank you universe or something like that. So that's it.
Yeah, but according to me, it works. That thanking.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
you at your
It's energy at the end of the day. Yeah.
So even like how YouTube algorithms, like they suggest you what you are, they suggest you what you are into, what you're interested in. Same way the universe, it will give you what you're asking for, what you attract, what you think of. So if you think of good stuff and everything, the universe brings it to you.
Absolutely. I would say, I would add to that when you are grateful, when you're thankful, there's a certain vibration and energy that you create, and the universe will now, and if it's a lot, you're creating this vibration energy more and more. Then you're sending out a signal wherein the universe has to create situations for you to feel like that more and more.
Yeah.
So if I've decided to be miserable, just the opposite thing. If I've decided to be miserable, and I see, this is not okay. Or even that guy, he's not behaving properly.
So true.
Oh my God, even this is not working out today. So now I have made myself a vessel to receive misery. I have announced misery needed, and the universe has to now, play out, my demand, which is misery. Similarly, gratitude, it will give you more reasons to be grateful about, more reasons to be grateful about. So this one can experiment and one can see for oneself. There is abundance here, look at how nature operates also. There's abundance in nature. There's no miserliness or anything. There's abundance. Life is abundance. And life wants to give you. You are life's child, it wants to give you. But if you, go to the ocean, with a little spoon, or even a bucket, it's only that much. So I would say, like, increase your capacity for what life has to give you. Okay, we have something by Anuj here. Gratitude will be in abundance and ego will disappear as soon as you start thinking that your body is marching towards your grave every day. Every day you're getting one step closer to your end.
Our own personal doomsday.
Well, that's another topic. Death is another beautiful topic, and
Yeah,
we can have a,
just a small thing, people think, they're going to their end, like, a lot of people have their birthdays and people say, oh, 1 day, 1 year less in your life. But I think it should be other way around. There are people who haven't seen the years, what you have spent. People die at age of 1 day, 1 year, maybe, 10 years, whenever. You have lived up to some period, and that is how you celebrate your birthdays. So it is not, you're going to your end, but how much you have survived, for that you can have gratitude for.
Where is Anuj?
There's another beautiful topic. I love talking about death. And I think death is a very beautiful thing. And so much so that, you should die every day. We die every day. Like when we go to sleep, there's no body, there's no mind, there's no world. It's an experience of death. But we come back. So we are dying every day. And there's nothing more beautiful than death, because it really brings you to new life. And I would recommend that, die every day to your past. And that will bring, freshness to your consciousness. And you'll be more alive, even, if you're... Death is a beautiful thing. It's just we have not looked at it deeply enough. We have not understood it. And we've just kind of, borrowed the ideas, whatever we were given, and we see it as a nasty thing. Especially in the West, it's a dirty thing. They hide it. Not in our, culture so much, but when one investigates, one finds truths beyond death as well. We can, talk about this sometime, but this is not something that we need to be afraid of. It's very much part of life.
But you to ask Anuj if you answered his question.
I don't think that was Anuj's question.
It was Anuj Puranik. Anuj,
are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. It did answer. It did answer perfectly.
sure.
100%. 100%. No,
Okay.
what
but the
I
point-
meant
Because
is,
Avi can go on. Huh?
Yeah. What he actually meant was that, we're not here forever, sort of, at least in this body. So, one needs to be grateful for every day. Every day is just a gift. So I think he meant it in that sense.
exactly what I meant. Exactly what I meant.
Chale khota redya.
Aga khara.
Okay.
Okay, so anyone else wants to share anything? I think...
Mast question.
So I hope you guys, enjoyed this. I have no idea, how it will go. And we don't know, we like to, hear ideas from you that... And we can go deeper into that, or, how do you want to take this? It is our, platform where we, talk stuff with each other, share, and because there's more than flying to us.
Oh my God, my class has started. Sorry guys, I have to go. My online classes started. Heritage of India. I need this.
Okay, so anyone wants to share, like, how did you feel? What do you want to do? And how do you want other sessions to be? Yes, Varun.
So one small fact that we talked about gratitude, and there was this simple realization about it. That is, gratitude, as we talked about it, that gratitude always, brings us this feeling of abundance, and abundance always follows this simple act of giving. And even as we, when we are close with nature, we realize that everything in nature follows a cycle. So this act of giving and taking also is a cycle of things that goes. So we have been given a lot many things, but at the same point in time, we are a medium through which there is a lot to be done and there's a lot to be given. And when this cycle is complete, the energies of the universe, they always are aligned within us and around us. So a simple realization that I wanted to share.
Absolutely, like I fully agree with what you're saying. Like we also, need to be available for the universe to do what it wants to do through us. In some way, we need that, opening. I wrestle with my ego, on daily basis, like to create some space and some, space for universe to, work and fulfill what it wants to fulfill, through me, like it wants to fulfill through a plant, like it wants to fulfill through a cloud, and like it wants to fulfill through a leaf. So I think there is work here for us, that we make ourselves available that way to the divine or the universe. These are words, but there for each other.
Happens.
Like yeah. I mean, just this forum itself, like, we got together. Something is making this happen. Something needs to reach someone and through someone, and it's all so beautiful and organic and beautiful. So yeah, fully agree with that.
Right, sir.
So 3 messages. Okay, so I think thank you very much, and I think it was great, and we can decide some topic, or for the next one, where we can discuss some aspect of our consciousness, and enjoy having a conversation, learning, sharing, and keep loving. So all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Avi. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.